My wife invited her entire family to watch as she presented me with divorce papers on my birthday. Surprise. I'm leaving you for someone who isn't a disappointment. Her father laughed. We never thought she'd actually marry someone so beneath her. They had champagne ready to celebrate my devastation. I smiled, calmly signed the papers and left. Today, exactly 6 months later, she was sleeping in her car outside my house, begging to talk, and her frantic "please answer" texts. Surprise. I'm leaving you for someone who isn't a disappointment. That was the punchline. Her birthday surprise for me. A room full of champagne-drunk relatives, her dad toasting her upgrade, her mom clapping like a damn seal, and my wife, handing me divorce papers like it was a trophy she just won. I didn't flinch, just smiled, signed the papers, and walked out. 6 months later, she's sleeping in her car outside my house. Let me paint the picture. My 35th birthday. A Friday. I'd taken the day off work thinking maybe we'd drive out to the lake cabin, crack open a bottle of that wine she kept saving for a real celebration, and just breathe. We've been fighting a lot. Small things. Her rolling her eyes when I talked about projects at work. Me feeling like she flinched every time I touched her. But I thought we could fix it. That we wanted to. What I got instead was the performance of the year. She rented a private room at that fancy Italian place her parents liked. The one with the white tablecloths and the soft jazz that made you feel like you were interrupting someone's proposal. I walked in expecting a small dinner. Maybe 4 people tops. Her. Me. Her parents, maybe. Instead, 30 people. Her entire family tree. A banner that said "Cheers to New Beginnings" above a glittery table full of flutes and finger food. And right in the center, a manila envelope with my name on it. I thought it was a birthday card at first. She got everyone quiet. Raised her glass. Smiled that rehearsed pageant smile and said, "Everyone, thank you for coming. Tonight is special. Not just because it's Michael's birthday, but because I'm finally taking my life back." And then she handed me the envelope. Divorce papers. Pre-filled. Signed on her end. I was still reading the first line when her father chimed in, laughing. We never thought she'd actually marry someone so beneath her. But hey, at least it gave us this moment. They cheered. Champagne popped. Her aunt actually recorded it. Like it was a gender reveal. "I'm leaving you for someone who isn't a disappointment," she said, loud enough to echo off the marble floors. Her mother giggled. "Don't be mean. He was always sweet. Just mediocre." I signed the papers without a word, placed them back in the envelope, walked out with my head high while they clapped. And here's the kicker. I thanked her. Not out loud. Not there. But in my head. That was the cleanest exit I could have asked for. Fast forward to today. 6 months later. 5:42 a.m. I wake up to headlights flooding my living room window. I think it's the paper guy at first. But then the engine doesn't cut. Just idles. Low, steady, familiar. I walk outside in a hoodie and boxers, and there she is curled up in the front seat of a blue Civic I sold her 2 years ago for cheap because hers wouldn't stop stalling. Her hair's a mess. No makeup. Eyes red and wild like she hasn't slept. She jolts when she sees me. "And Michael, please, I didn't know where else to go." And my phone? Lit up with 17 messages. "Please answer. Can we talk? I messed up. He's not who I thought he was. Guess Mr. Upgrade didn't come with a warranty." Let me rewind for a second because those 6 months, they weren't quiet. She went full Instagram influencer about the split. Posted pictures with the new guy 3 days after the party. Captioned one with "choosing happiness even if it means disappointing others." Others equals me, apparently. I kept quiet. Deleted my socials. Focused on work, therapy, working out, real stuff. The kind that hurts before it heals. But her? She was glowing. At least online. Vacations. Brunches. Power couple posts. Until a month ago. Her profile went dark. Comments turned off. Mutual friends started dropping vague comments like, "Hope she's okay," and "Things aren't always what they seem." Then I got a LinkedIn message from her cousin. Weird guy, always smelled like Red Bull and regret. It just said, "You were right." No context. Now here she is. Sleeping in her car like a ghost of the woman who once laughed at me in front of 30 people. I haven't answered her texts. Not yet. Because I'm not sure what I want from this. Closure. Revenge? Maybe just the satisfaction of knowing the stage she built to humiliate me has finally collapsed under her own weight. But part of me wants to hear the story, wants to know what happened after I walked out that night. How long the honeymoon lasted before the crack showed. What broke first, his patience, her illusion, or both? I don't want her back. Let me be clear about that. This isn't a romantic cliffhanger. This is a reckoning. She knocked on the door an hour ago. I didn't open it. She left a note. Said she had something to show me. Said it's not what I think. Said she made a mistake. Said he made one too. I haven't read it yet, but I will. And if this is the beginning of Act 2, then I promise you this. I'm not the same man who walked into that restaurant 6 months ago. And she's about to find out exactly what that means. Update 1. She thought I'd be grateful she came back. I showed her the camera instead. I read the note. Not right away. I made coffee first like nothing was happening, fed the cat, let the silence stretch, but by 7 a.m., I was sitting at the kitchen counter with her handwriting in front of me, sloppy cursive, the kind she used when she was nervous. It wasn't long, just 5 lines. Michael, I messed up. He's not who I thought he was. I didn't know where else to go. I don't expect forgiveness. Just 5 minutes, please. So I gave her 10, not because I'm a good guy, because I was curious, because part of me wanted to see her lie to my face and watch her realize I wasn't the same man she dismantled in front of her champagne-swilling family. She looked like a ghost of herself. Eyes hollow, hair thrown in a bun, hoodie stained with what I think was drive-through coffee. She was shivering. I didn't invite her in. I pointed to the porch bench and said, 10 minutes. Start talking. She hesitated, then dropped it all. Turns out Mr. Not a Disappointment had a family, wife, 2 kids, mortgage in Connecticut. The whole cliché. She knew he was married. Said he was in the process of separation. He wasn't. He was very much in the process of gaslighting her while rotating through a couple other side projects on the company's dime. She found out 2 months ago when his wife showed up at their hotel room. She didn't scream, didn't cry, just handed her a manila folder and said, "When you're done pretending, call me." The folder had printouts, bank statements, hotel receipts, screenshots of texts from a second mistress, emails between him and HR where he'd proactively documented his concerns about a mentally unstable employee. He was setting her up before she even knew what was coming. Then came the fallout. She got demoted under the guise of department restructuring. He got a lateral move and a company-paid relocation package, plus a glowing farewell party. Her apartment lease was under his LLC. When he ghosted, the landlord did too. Credit card he gave her, shut down. Job, barely hanging on. Reputation, tanked. And her parents, the same ones who toasted her independence while sneering at me, told her she'd made her bed. Her mom even said, "Well, he's a disappointment, but at least he paid the bills." The guy she torched her life for iced her out in a week. And the people she burned me for decided she wasn't worth the effort either. "So what do you want from me?" asked. She looked up, lips trembling. "Not money, just somewhere safe, just for a little while." And this is where the old version of me, the one she humiliated, would have folded, would have said yes, would have given her a blanket, maybe a hug, maybe some lie about how we all make mistakes. But I didn't. I said, "You picked the arena. You don't get to complain about the crowd now." She flinched. "I know," she said. "I know I ruined everything." I stayed quiet. She kept going. She wanted me to know she'd been seeing a therapist, that she'd realized how broken she was, that she'd finally understood why she pushed away the only stable person in her life. "You were too good to me," she said, and I didn't know how to handle that. That line, that was the one she was sure would break me. But it didn't, because I wasn't listening to the words. I was watching the pattern. She wasn't sorry. She was stranded. Big difference. So I stood up, walked inside, and came back with a flash drive. She frowned. "What's that?" I pointed at the camera above my door. "Video. Of you. Last night. Crying in the car. Sleeping outside my house. You gave me everything I need." Her face dropped. "Michael, I'm not going to sue you." I laughed. "This isn't for court." She blinked. "Then what?" "It's for insurance." I said. "For me." She sat in silence. That's when I dropped the second bomb. "I know about the fake bank account." Her eyes went wide. "The one you opened in my name during our marriage. The one you funneled rent money into and told me we were behind on bills." She tried to speak. I cut her off. "Zach, the guy you said was just a friend, he used to work at that bank. He left a trail. You didn't even cover your tracks well." I stood. "You wanted 5 minutes. You got 15. That's more than you gave me when you handed me those papers in front of a damn audience." She started crying again, but I didn't stay to watch this time. I walked back inside, locked the door. She's still parked across the street, still sending messages, still thinks maybe she can fix this. But here's the part she'll never understand. There's no fixing something you shattered just to see what the pieces would look like. I'm not done. There's one more piece I haven't played, one move she never saw coming. Final update. I sent her a link. She clicked it. Now her whole family knows what she did. She finally left. Not with a bang. No note this time. No grand apology. Just silence. 1 minute her car was there, frost clinging to the windows, her silhouette curled in the front seat. Next minute, gone. But before she left, I sent her a link. No message. No warning. Just a URL. It led to a page, password protected, hosted through a private Dropbox account. Inside, the truth, a full timeline, receipts, video of her sleeping in the car, screenshots of her social media posts, copies of the financial records she never thought I'd find, the fake bank account, the rent scheme, the way she redirected Venmo payments to her side fling's consulting business. The final file, a screen recording of her birthday stunt. One of her cousins had filmed it on a phone, background laughter, her dad's toast, that humiliating line, "I'm leaving you for someone who isn't a disappointment." I got it from the same cousin who sent me a weird apology 3 months later after her boyfriend dumped her and she finally understood what public betrayal felt like. I sent that link to her entire family. Parents, cousins, her younger brother who'd pulled me aside at the party that night and whispered, "Sorry man, this isn't right." Even her grandmother, the one who couldn't make it because of surgery, got a text with a simple message, "You missed the show. Here's the full performance." Within 3 hours she sent 13 texts. All caps, all rage. "How could you? You ruined my life. My dad lost a contract because of this. You are evil." But the one that stuck with me? I said I was sorry. Because no, she didn't. She said she was stranded. She said she had nowhere to go. She said the guy she left me for turned out to be a fraud. But she never apologized. Never once said, "What I did to you was wrong." And now, her family knows. Her dad deleted LinkedIn for a week. Her mom posted some cryptic "forgiveness heals" garbage with a sunset stock image that got 2 likes and 1 confused comment from her bridge partner. Her aunt, the one who filmed the birthday humiliation, sent me an email. I had no idea how deep it went. "I'm sorry," I laughed. "I thought it was a weird performance thing." Performance? That's exactly what it was. But the curtain's down now. 2 days ago, I got a letter in the mail. From a lawyer. No lawsuit. Not yet. Just a cease and desist letter asking me to remove defamatory content from my Dropbox link. I replied with my own letter. From my lawyer. Zoe, actually, the same one from the mortgage saga you might have read about. She's a beast with documentation. Our reply included timestamps, verified evidence, and a footnote. Our client has not engaged in defamation. He has distributed only factual records of events and communications pertaining to his own lived experience. Further contact will be considered harassment. They haven't responded. Here's the part one didn't expect. The day after the link went out, I got a call. Blocked number. I almost didn't answer. But I did. It was her dad. He sounded old, not drunk, not smug, just tired. "Michael," he said, "I didn't know about the bank stuff. The money. I didn't know she did all that. I didn't say anything. She told us you were angry, controlling, that you yelled. She said you begged her not to leave." I laughed. He didn't. "I owe you," he said. "I won't say sorry. That's not how I was raised. But I owe you. If you ever need something." I cut him off. "I'll never need a damn thing from your name." Click. That was 3 days ago. Today, I closed the Dropbox link. It served its purpose. I changed my locks, got a new phone number, blocked her on everything. People ask me why I didn't just move on, why I didn't let her vanish quietly. And I'll tell you why. Because some betrayals don't get a gentle fade out. Some deserve a spotlight, not out of spite, out of clarity. Because when someone builds a grenade and hands it to you wrapped in ribbon, the least you can do is hand it back, pinned, and let them explain the mess to everyone watching. Last night I sat on my back deck, whiskey in hand, and watched the sun crawl out of the sky. No messages, no headlights, just peace. Real, earned peace. The kind that comes after you stop making excuses for people who'd set you on fire just to warm their own hands. I'm done with closure, done with rage, done with her. Because I finally see it now. She didn't ruin my life. She freed it. By tearing it apart, she gave me a blank page. And this is the part where I write something better. Not for her. Not for revenge. For me.